Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to do some comparisons with you. I have all of the new Monarch Lacquer cream polishes in front of me, and I was curious to see what I had in my collection that would be similar or dupes for the Monarch Lacquer polishes that I recently picked up. So if you want to see what these look like in comparison with a couple other polishes in my collection, just keep watching. So the first polish that we are going to start with is this one called Citrus Fizz, and this is a really nice pastel yellow cream. Let's go ahead and get started with this one. If you are new to my channel and are not sure about the brand Monarch Lacquer, I will put the video that I shared these polishes in. I will list that down in the description box, or I'll put it up here in the cards. So there is the first coat of Citrus Fizz. It's a really nice pastel yellow. I will say initially I did not have many polishes for comparison for this color. I did pull two, and each of these here are definitely darker. These are not identical dupes for the Monarch polish, but I was curious just the same. So I have this one from Essie. This polish is called All Fun and Games. This is one of my favorite yellow cream polishes in my collection, and I know that this is going to be much darker than the polish from Monarch. We can definitely tell this is not going to be a dupe at all for that Monarch polish, and I went through my collection trying to see if I had anything similar, and I couldn't find anything similar at all. So that is what they look like side by side. This polish from Monarch is a really nice pastel yellow. This one here from Essie is definitely a much darker tone. So again, they are not dupes. I did pull another one that I thought would be close, but this one definitely isn't. This is by Zoya. This one is called B. This is, again, is like a buttercream yellow, and I know that it is not going to be dupeable for the yellow from Monarch, but I just was overall curious if I had anything similar. This polish is going to be very similar to the Essie one that I have, so I, again, don't think I'm going to have anything close to the yellow from Monarch like I initially thought I would. Both of these are definitely different colors, and I will say these two look different in person than I initially thought they were going to. I thought they would be more dupeable, but they're not 100% identical. I feel like this polish from Zoya is a little bit lighter than the Essie polish, and then obviously they're both much darker than that polish from Monarch Lacquer. So I'm going to go ahead and do a real quick coat of that Monarch Lacquer. We're going to add a second coat to this one. If you guys have not tried the creams from this brand, they are phenomenal. These are amazing polishes. Again, I will list that video showing these creams. I did post a video earlier in the week with those. So that is what 2 coats of Monarch Lacquer Citrus Fizz looks like. Definitely no dupes here. I didn't think I had any dupes for that one, but I wanted to just double check and see what I have. Mine are a little bit more buttercream yellow. This Monarch Lacquer polish is a really nice pastel yellow. So now we're going to move on to this next polish. This one is called Mint Mojito, and it is a really nice mint cream polish. I have some contenders for dupes with this one. I am almost certain these are probably going to look very, very identical, so we shall see. Again, the formula on the Monarch polishes are absolutely amazing. They have blown me out of the water. So there is the first coat. And then contenders for dupes with these. This is a polish I have not actually worn on my nails yet. This is by Essie. This one is called It's High Time. This is from the Spring Feel the Fizzle collection, and I'm almost certain these are going to be very, very similar. I don't know how similar they will actually be. I'm curious just the same. Oh, wow. Okay, so they're not actually anywhere close. You guys could probably see that on camera. They don't look anything alike. I thought it was going to. I thought this was going to be closer dupe-wise, but it's not. You got Monarch on the right-hand side and that Essie polish on the left. So now my second and final contender is this one from China Glaze. This polish is a polish I got in a D-stash a while back. This one is called... This is Too Yacht to Handle. I feel like this one might be a little bit different. Now, I will say the formula on my version of Too Yacht to Handle is nothing like what I've seen in stores. This polish isn't quite the same. This is a little bit closer to that Monarch polish, but I feel like it's still a touch brighter, maybe. So there we have it. We have Monarch Lacquer. We have the Monarch Lacquer polish here on the right, Essie in the middle, and then this one on the outside is China Glaze Too Yacht to Handle. I feel like this one and this one are going to be the closest dupes to each other. You guys will have to let me know what you think. I'm going to go ahead and build up that China Glaze polish to a quick second coat. Again, this polish from China Glaze has changed its color. It is darker in tone than what I have. I've looked at it in stores, and my version looks nothing like what it looks like in stores. So, depending on, you know, if you have this polish, it will probably be a different color. So there we have the dupes. We have the Monarch Lacquer polish, we have the Essie polish, and then Too Yacht to Handle from China Glaze. I would say China Glaze and Monarch are the closest dupes, but again, I know the formula or the color doesn't look the same as it does in new bottles, so keep that in mind as well. The next one is this beautiful pink. This one is called Raspberry Bliss. This is one I was almost certain I had enough in my collection to dupe, so we shall see. We'll see if this actually is going to be as easy to dupe as I think. This one again is absolutely phenomenal. These are almost one coat polishes. So that is the first coat of the Monarch Lacquer polish Raspberry Bliss. And then my dupes, we'll start off with this one. This is by Zoya. This one is called Darla. This one looks similar in the bottle, so I am assuming it's probably going to be very similar. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. So these are contenders. This is a contender for a dupe, that is for sure. Interesting. Those look more alike than I initially thought they would. Alright, so we have Monarch on the right and Zoya on the left. Those are very, very identical. At least in person, they look spot on identical. So I do have one other contender, but I can almost guarantee it's actually going to be much lighter. This is one of my favorite China Glaze polishes. This one is called Dance Baby. This one's going to be lighter. It is definitely not going to be the same color consistency at all, but I was curious how close this would be to that Monarch polish. let's go ahead and take a look. This one is definitely a much lighter dupe. So this is definitely not as close as I initially thought it was. I didn't think it was going to be, but I was curious for my own, I was curious to figure it out on my own if it was. So we have Monarch Lacquer, the Zoya polish, and then China Glaze. The next one we're going to do is one of my favorite polish colors. This one is by... This is called Wink of Perry. A beautiful periwinkle blue, one of my favorite colors. I think this one's going to be a little easier to dupe than I thought it was going to be. These first couple polishes we did weren't 100% dead on dupes, but I think this one's going to be much this one's going to be much easier to dupe than some of these other ones. Again, formula is impeccable on these. So there is the first coat of Wink of Perry. For contenders, I have two from Essie. I have this first polish. This is Don't Burst My Bubble. This one is from the Spring 2023 collection. I feel like this one is going to be the closest to my dupe contender polishes. So we shall see. We'll see if this actually is going to be as close as I think. It's close. I feel like this is a little bit of a different tone of periwinkle. Definitely a little bit different. Sure, you guys could probably see it there on camera. They are close. So we have Monarch Lacquer on the right and Essie Don't Burst My Bubble on the left. Very similar polishes, very, very similar dupe contenders, but there is, in person, definitely a slight difference. The final polish for this one is definitely not going to be anywhere close to the same color. This one is another Essie polish. This one is called Bikini Sotini. This is definitely going to be too light, and I kind of knew that going into this, that it was going to be too light of the polish, but I was curious just to try it myself and see what this would look like. So this one is definitely a little bit too light for sure. I did add a couple extra coats to the Essie polishes. So we have this polish here is Monarch Lacquer. This one is Essie's Don't Burst My Bubble. And then this is Essie Bikini Sotini. The next polish from Monarch is this one called Sun Kissed Coral. I have one polish in particular that I thought would be close to this. This one was harder to find potential dupes for than I thought. The polishes I originally pulled were nowhere close to what I wanted them to be. So we shall see how they turn out. If you are interested in some really good quality cream polishes, these are $10 each on Monarch's website. Check them out. I will list them down in the description box below. So that is the first coat of the polish from Monarch Lacquer. My contender for this is this one from Zoya. This polish is called Polly. This is definitely not going to be a similar color. I could see that already, that it is going to be a different tone. I really struggled trying to get dupes for this polish. I went and pulled them out of my collection and initially just didn't like how they looked. My polishes were way too peachy leaning. So this one you can definitely see is much darker, much more pink, whereas the other polish is that salmon coral shade. So these are not dead on dupes either. So I have the Monarch Lacquer polish, and then we have Zoya Poly. not dupes whatsoever. The final polish I have is this one called Ruby Rue. This is a beautiful ruby red. This polish is gorgeous. It is a beautiful blue-based red. A little bit squishy, so this one does take 2 coats to build up to full opacity, but it is gorgeous. This is absolutely a beautiful color. I am excited to see what my contenders look like. So the first one is this one from Essie. This is called Geranium. I feel like this one is going to be a brighter red than the Monarch Lacquer polish. I'm almost certain it's going to be a brighter red. This is more of an orangey based red. Definitely not quite as dark as I thought it was going to be. It might be looking very similar on camera. I have all my lighting on and I feel like it's looking, kind of making these look a little bit closer to being dupes than what they are in person. They definitely look very different. So the last one I have is this one from Zoya. This one is called Soko. This one I think is going to be too orangey based as well. I don't feel like I have enough red, like blue leaning reds. I actually just thought of one, but I don't have enough space on this, and I don't know if it would actually be the true tone for a dupe either. This one definitely is less orange leaning. So we have Monarch Lacquer, Essie Geranium, and then Zoya Soko. They're still a little bit different in tone, for sure. They're definitely not dead-on dupes whatsoever. I am curious if OPI Big Apple Red would be similar. I still feel like that's going to be a little bit different than this color. Coats of Monarch Lacquer up against Essie Geranium, and then Zoya Soko. So let's go. So we have 2 coats of Monarch Lacquer Ruby Rue on the right. In the middle, I have Essie Geranium in 2 coats, and then Zoya Soko in 2 coats. Definitely not dead-on dupes for each other, but I do feel like the Zoya polish is going to be more of a contender than the Essie polish is. Have to let me know what you guys think in the comments. Alright everybody, that is it for my comparison video. If you are new to the brand, check out the link down below. Monarch Lacquer is a newer brand, and I am loving her polishes so far. They are absolutely gorgeous, as you guys could see. So I will put all that info down in the description box if you are interested. I do also have a discount code for you. I am an affiliate for Monarch Lacquer, so anything you purchase through my link or using my code, I do make a commission off of, but that does allow me to continue bringing content to my channel, sharing products with you guys, reviewing new products, polishes, collections, things like that. That does allow me to do that with those commissions. So if you use my affiliate codes or links, I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for your support on my channel. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe before you leave. I upload videos every single week. I would love to have you be part of the channel. We love all things nail polish here. This is a huge hobby of mine that my husband shares in on as well. He just is not on YouTube yet anyway. But if that is something you would be interested in, definitely subscribe, and I would love to have you be part of the channel. Hope you guys have a great week. Bye.